in this company. We only focus on investing in real estate. As far as the first fund is concerned, real estate investing first to address that has historically been done either as a buyer that you go and buy an apartment or an office or a retail space. That is shifting towards managed consumption, toward the kinds of entrepreneurs that can find entrepreneurs who are chasing a particular entrepreneurs who are passionate about seniors. And then there are entrepreneurs who bring in the experience and they are trying to create an institution by the government. Such cities like Indore, there may be at least 20-25 cities in India which will grow by themselves.
So good afternoon everybody. Welcome to this podcast with Mr. Ramashrya Yadav, who is the founder and CEO of the Integrow Asset Management Company. I'm Preeti Ladda, founder of SPS Consulting. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
So to start with again, can you just tell us more about Integrow? And in layman terms, can you tell us what is last mile residential project funding all about?
Yeah. Integrow Asset Management is a focused fiduciary fund management company. We are an investment platform, and unlike the general norm of the industry where there are many adjacent businesses in banking, we only focus on investing in real estate. As far as the first fund is concerned, the last mile funding, the whole idea was that the projects which got stuck between 2017 to 2020 because of the crisis in NBFCs were very less number of investors coming out, and that's where the investing through the category 2 alternative investment funds which are registered in SEBI, that started gaining momentum. Our idea of the Integrow Special Situations Fund 1 was to focus on 2 key markets, Mumbai and Pune, and we are mostly committed for the investments, and we'll be closing the fund now this year.
Wow! And so, what has been the response like? How people are more eager to invest only in a particular, only real estate? What about the risks then?
So I think real estate investing first to address that has historically been done either as a buyer that you go and buy an apartment or office or retail space. That is shifting towards managed assets. So rather than you going and directly doing it and building your portfolio, now you have an option to better get the best investment manager and invest through that AIF.
Correct. Okay.
That provides first security, second the ability to manage, and third you can also diversify your risks between different schemes, whether it is residential, commercial, retail. So that's why the investing through AIF route makes more sense if you are building a long-term portfolio for real estate. As far as the second question is concerned, that relative to other asset classes like the equity markets or gold or other commodities, one is not better at the cost of other. I think one needs to have the prudence of creating a right balance in the portfolio.
Diversify.
Largely equity investments happen from a very long-term perspective, that you need to be in the market. They are volatile in nature. As far as investing in real estate is concerned, it's more solid, backed by real asset behind the investment, and it's also liquid. It's more liquid than others, that you can have the schemes where you are making a quarterly or monthly yield, and then there is appreciation in the capital, or you can create a long-term
appreciation. It's not necessarily long-term. If you want, you can hold it. And
absolutely.
Correct. Okay. So you are a Harvard graduate yourself, and you've also had your corporate stint before starting Integrow. And we see a lot of startups these days, and some of them do well, some of them also fail. And like, what is your take on youngsters on business karna hai? Some of them don't even complete the formal education before diving into it.
I think it's a inherent drive of an entrepreneur which makes one take a jump. And there are 2 or 3 kinds of entrepreneurs that you'll find. Entrepreneurs who are chasing a particular opportunity. Entrepreneurs who are passionate about changing something.
Yes.
And then there are entrepreneurs who bring in the experience and they are trying to build an institution. I think when it comes to youngsters, at least my understanding is that it is driven by that passion in the communities that they are interacting with. Largely that's what drives. So if you look at, say for example, Bangalore is the startup hub.
Yes.
If you now look at most of the engineering colleges, they have a specific cell now.
Yes.
So I think that
they start incubating right
absolutely.
from, yes.
Absolutely. That's what is happening in the country. I don't think there is a right or a wrong age. As far as along with the passion, you also have a purpose of why you want to do. Purpose driven out of sheer making profit is something which may not be sustainable in long term. But if you are really up to changing something
like
or
you said,
changing
the purpose, yes,
then it will possibly work for long.
So, but then again, the importance of formal education, like how important do you think?
I think there is no replacement of formal education with anything.
Right.
Just because we see the case studies of people who have had no formal education and become successful, we are only looking at possibly a dropout of ocean.
Okay.
And that's a very wrong example to really chase. We don't know how many have failed. And what if you have not had a formal education and you don't become successful even 10th time in entrepreneurship?
Correct. So you should, it's good to have some background.
It's good to have formal education. There is no replacement for
There's
that.
no, yes. That is what I wanted to. So considering all the real estate boom that has been happening, and you've been in Indore for a couple of days, and what is your view on?
I think Indore is anecdotally the representative of what is happening in the tier 2 cities in India. Tier 2 cities historically had been surviving and thriving on one sector or one single part of economy. Now they are becoming more holistic. So if I take example of Indore by itself, I think the number of educational institutions over a period of last about 25 years have almost tripled. That has now given the seed to a very different culture of the city, where now education is fostering now the employment. So if you look at the TCS and the Infosys and the kinds, they have already started making those strides.
Yes.
And with both the entrepreneurship on one side and the push to formal employment by the government, I think such cities like Indore, there may be at least 20-25 cities in India which will grow by themselves.
Okay.
And that's what we call as at a particular level the economic dispersion starts happening beyond the core cities.
Okay. Okay. So yeah, that's about it. That's all I wanted to talk to you about. Thank you so much, sir,
Thank
for
you.
coming down and
Pleasure.
doing
Pleasure.
this.
Thank you.